Welcome back, everybody. It's the brand new episode of KPS Stories Podcast. I'm your host, Steve.
And your co-host, Ethan.
We have a very special show for everybody here today since it's the last episode of the spring semester. I'm going to talk about robots taking over the world. So you have to do your part to contribute to this by subscribing to our YouTube channel right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Then you gotta head over to our Facebook page and like and share stuff to drive that algorithm. Because it's summer now and I won't be busy with school, so I could drive this social media empire again. So, yeah. Alright.
Robots.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's fun to joke about robots taking over the world. But as I look around me, and as I listen to people talk, and maybe if I mention the COVID vaccine will get censored and boost viewership, people are very interested in this concept of robots taking over the world or humans becoming too dependent on technology, this kind of content. And I think there's a lot of basis to it. And then a lot of it's just ridiculous too. So I want to start with something that's very familiar to everyone listening to this broadcast, your cell phone. When I was in college, way back when, in the dark ages or whatever, your phone was like, you had Snake, you had Space Invaders, and you could make a call. And that's all that it was. But now people are going on there and there's this shit where it's like you turn yourself into a cartoon animal and it like says messages to your friends and it tracks you within like 24 inches of your position on the globe. It's evolved a lot. And we have to wonder what's really going on with all of this. What's happening here? And situations like stuff from the Terminator or that Star Wars movie with clones, which is another concept entirely, is becoming more and more real. And the consequence of all this, I think, and what I see every single day when I teach, is that people are becoming less human, if that makes any sense. People are losing personality, and people are losing ability to think, because the machine does it for them. And I don't expect shit like the Terminator with like lasers and all that kind of crap. I don't think it's a movie. It's supposed to make us laugh,
People are glued to their phones.
Absolutely. And it's very concerning especially when I give a final exam. Like we're in exam season right now. Good luck to all of our college audience out there, our rapidly growing fan base listening to this episode. The answers that people give in open-ended questions it's getting chilling. It was funny for a while, but it's haunting now, where people just have no ability to comprehend or to understand anything. They just repeat exact words that they heard you say a couple days earlier, or just rewrite the question with a period at the end instead of a question mark. And I think that's the real robot takeover that's happening in our society. And we're just getting too dependent. We're too connected is one term that I hear a lot when talking about Twitter and TikTok and all that kind of stuff. And I think the reality is we're more isolated than ever before. And people really struggle to hold conversations and to talk and all this kind of stuff. It's very scary.
It is interesting to talk about because like one of the first things people do is like they wake up in the morning, go right to their phone, scroll through Instagram. It's in you do it automatically and you don't even realize that you're doing it.
Yeah, it's ingrained into who we are at this point.
I think what some people are starting to people are starting to realize that, and so people are slowly like deactivating their social media accounts for periods at a time. That's something I've started doing. I've started doing that with my Instagram and TikTok accounts. Not Snapchat though, not yet at least. Snapchat I don't find like addicting to scroll through, and and look at. I just kind of look at it for like the communication basis with my friends.
Yeah. A lot of times you find you just waste a ton of time because it's like I'm seeing the same 4 posts over and over and over, but something in my brain is telling me this time it'll be different.
It's tracking your attention span.
Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing advertisements every 4th post or every other post or whatever it's up to now. And I'm just thinking to myself, maybe there will be a notification from someone I haven't talked to in years. Maybe I'll get a message from a fan of the KPS. You know,
You would think that would be the point of social media, but no, people would be like, huh, why is this person texting me? I haven't talked to him in like 6 years. That's weird.
Yeah, it seems to have kind of lost the point in many ways. And you might think to yourself, what does this have to do with the paranormal? What does this have to do with a show that's mostly talked about ghosts? And I'll tell you right now, Ethan, because it's very important to understand. We did a couple of demon episodes, and I don't remember if you were in the studio I know you were for some of them.
For some of them, I was.
But one of the things I talked about with Tim Dempsey, the local author we had on the show a couple episodes ago, was just the approach that a demon entity will take. You know, a dark spirit, a demon, whatever you want to call it. Use your imagination. The first thing that it has to do to gain a purchase in someone's life is to isolate them and to cut them off from everyone else. So that way, when stuff starts happening to a person, they have no one to talk to about it.
Social media is creating demons.
Maybe not that far. I mean, it's a demon all its own. But I think it's creating so much negativity in people that a dark being can just feed on.
Attitudes.
Yeah. So let me hit you with this. You know, it's something Kayla has brought up in class a bunch of times. There's a lot of people that are going to go to college for 4 years and are going to struggle to find a job that pays better than minimum wage. And they're going to log on social media and they're going to see pictures of their classmate who dropped out when they were 15 in front of a $500,000 house with a new car and them talking about this great job they have. How's that going to make you feel?
Ashamed, because it looks like through social media their life is so perfect. And then let's say if I were the person that dropped out, my life would feel very, very shitty compared to theirs. I mean, I'd look at them and be like, wow, how everything's going so well for them. And then there's me over here struggling. But the truth is everyone is struggling.
Yeah, basically. And it's something that I see with my classmates that I graduated with a couple years ago all the time, where I'll be hanging out with them and they'll be telling me how miserable they are and how much life sucks and they're so bored or lonely, whatever.
But then their social media will say like the complete opposite.
Exactly. This stunning new selfie they took where they look like $1 million. And
people like to show off what they're doing.
Yeah.
In the moment, even though that doesn't complete what they're actually doing.
And they'll tell me later on, oh yeah, it's all just filters, it's all just to get my likes, and then move on to the next thing. And I think that things like this, and something else that I see a lot of, people see trends on social media, and they think, I have to be part of this trend, or I'm going to get left behind. I had a couple of students in my class at Marywood this past semester who came in dressed exactly the same every single day. With like the new trend on TikTok of like what a young professional woman is supposed to dress like, I guess.
Yeah, or the most unique rapper out there is dressing in this weird different style, and then people are going to follow because it's weird and outrageous. And they want to they think, oh, I want to be just like that. I want to be weird and outrageous, so I stand out, so I'm going to dress like this person. But really, it's like when you dress up like that rapper, there's going to be like thousands of other kids dressed in the same exact way.
Pretty soon it's not unique anymore. I know that we reached an inflection point in society when Post Malone became an ideal that young men tried to emulate.
Oh yeah.
That was a shift in everything that had come to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw many department store brand Post Malones throughout my teaching career, and it was sad. It's the one word I can use.
I can remember several times in high school where kids would just completely change the way they dress just to look like Post Malone or Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because I remember there was a stage in my high school where everyone would just buy Tim's boots and wear them around like they're stylish. I'm just like, what are you doing? Those are work boots.
Yeah.
Like those are work boots, and you're like rolling up your jeans around them and like cleaning them. Like those, like if I were to buy a pair of those boots, it would be for work.
Mm-hmm.
But
You would think.
yeah,
The problem with that kind of stuff is that people create a perception of who they are that's just not accurate. They strive for an ideal they can never attain, and that in turn makes them miserable. It makes them sad or lonely or anything like that.
mm-hmm.
And then they turn to other things for answers,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's drugs, whether it's the KPS. You never know what people will do. And that's kind of the danger of it, at least to me, is that you have a whole generation of people that hates themselves for no reason.
Creates like one point of view,
Yeah.
and that's not what life is. Life is multiple point of views from every which direction, looking at every like which way, and it's like that's how like the world works. And kids grow up on social media platforms and they see like just this one point of view, and then if they were to talk to someone older than them, they would see like that person's opinion and be like, no, that's not right, that's stupid. But really it's
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not healthy. And it's deeply concerning for our future and what's to come and where we're going next. As I'm saying this on a YouTube video encouraging you to subscribe to the channel. And that's the irony of it.
I think if you can control your temptations a little bit over social media, it's okay to like pick and choose what you want to subscribe to, but don't like see the first thing that pops up and be like subscribe, because there's definitely people out there that are just posting content nonstop just to get their viewers up, because the more you post, the more viewers you're going to
Correct.
see, the more platforms you're going to stretch across.
Yeah, and I've noticed recently that Facebook and Instagram don't even update anymore unless I like stuff. It'll just keep hitting me with the same thing. And it's like I'll look at it 3-4 times in a day and I'll see the same posts until I like it, until the next ones come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's unsettling.
Mm-hmm. Even too, people will post the same exact stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago was block party in Bloomsburg, and every time I went on Instagram, just post after post of people at block party, and it got to a point where I was just like, this is annoying, and I disabled my Instagram because I got sick of seeing all these people at block party.
I had a buddy back in the day who just posted the same selfie over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the thing where like he had a little bit of stubble coming in and a gold chain and his hair slicked back just a little, and he's got the sunglasses halfway down his eyes, and he would just post it over and over and over, except now it's black and white.
That is like kind of what my roommate does on Snapchat. She'll just post the same selfie every single day with like a different background, but it's really like the same picture over and over again. And I'll tell her to, I'm like, you're posting the same photo, and she'll argue with me, no, I'm not, they're different, they're unique. I'm like, these are literally the same selfies over and over again.
Yeah, and I think that's the beginning of this, technological overhaul, robots, whatever you want to call it. I think that's the real face of it, and that's the direction it's actually heading. Because people are getting so conditioned to everything just being one set way Or, I mean, geez, I'm going to go to the grocery store when we get out of the studio tonight, and I'm going to walk in, and there's not going to be a cashier in the store. It's going to be the little robot that does it. And it's going to tell me to please bag my items 6 times.
Have you ever seen the movie iRobot?
I haven't.
With Will Smith?
I've heard about it, but I've never
The
seen it.
main theme of the movie is they're coming out with a new generation of service robots, and everything like on the internet gets uploaded to this one source. Everything's controlled from this one source, and that one source has its own personality, and it's just monitoring everyone so it knows how to like control everyone. And the new service robots like take over the world basically, and then the hero Will Smith is the one that like saves the world. It's a great movie. It's actually kind of scary how realistic that movie is today, because it was made in like early 2000 and it was depicted for like 2020.
Yep.
And it's some of the things on it are kind of true, but
And now we're here.
Now we're here.
So I guess kind of the haunting other one to think about with all of this, somebody wrote me a term paper about uploading your soul into a computer so that you live forever, basically.
That's a scary thought.
And what he was trying to say was you could eventually create a world where everyone's consciousness is uploaded into one mainframe and everyone exists in VR, basically. And the people that are super into this are like, oh, you know, you never get old. You never need money. You never need food. All this kind of stuff. But somebody is still, like, in the real world controlling the VR. That's a terrifying thought.
It is a terrifying thought.
And as far as the soul and all that kind of stuff goes, is a ghost just like someone that got trapped in a computer game? Like, what's really going on here? What are the implications of this?
This recording could be a computer game.
This could all not be real. Like, I could still be sleeping, having a nightmare after the exam I gave last night, and I'll never know. And when you start getting into the nature of reality, that's like for a different thing entirely, but
Next episode.
maybe.
Next episode will just be about reality.
That's like a different season. Like, I come in here and I'm like, what is time? And then everybody that opened it immediately closes the video. But as long as you like and comment first, that's perfectly okay. Because we have to feed the machine. We got to boost this algorithm. And those questions about the nature of the self, the nature of reality, all that kind of stuff, that's what the KPS is actually supposed to be about in its forms, in its various incarnations. And maybe next season we could venture into other topics and get some guests and things like that. So, to everybody out there listening, you know, we're very grateful, you know, me and Kayla and Ethan here, that you have listened to the show faithfully, that you've shared it with your friends and family. Maybe it's kept you up 1 or 2 nights. Maybe it's put you to sleep many more. And we're hopeful to be back for a new season at some point. And thanks again.
Until next time.